Right off the bat, just impressed with the execution today. We really treated this as if this was a game week, and the guys were really confident in what we were doing in all three phases. The execution was good, which in turn helped our tempo. I felt like our tempo, especially offensively, was much better today than it had been all week, and that just comes with the comfort of knowing what we're doing and the calls and whatnot. So the beauty of it for us is the guys get a couple days now to enjoy their families, friends, do their Christmas shopping, whatever they need to do, and then we can recreate this week again starting on Tuesday in preparation for the game on Saturday.
Juju was quoted as saying the other day that he's going to or planning to play both ways next year. Is that in the works? Is that possible?
We haven't talked about it, but that's, I think, just Juju being the ambitious person that he is. He wants to. I know that. But I know that he's not going to play next Saturday against Nebraska. I need him to catch a couple touchdowns. So we'll focus on that. When we get into the offseason, we assess our roster and assess our strengths, and that'll be a topic of discussion, but we have not discussed it yet.
Sorry, Dan, I have a follow-up on that. Most of the time that guys do that, it's a defensive player who dabbles on offense, not an offensive player who dabbles on defense. Is there a difference? Is it easier one way or the other?
Well, I think it's understanding the scheme. I think defensively there's a lot of nuances to defense, right? There's different calls, there's checks that can be made based on formations and whatnot. So, that's the part that's the hard part. So if we're going to do it, we have to teach them the overall scheme. It's not on offense you come over for 3, 4, 5 plays or 1 or 2 plays. You have to know the scheme defensively to make it fit and make it work. So, like I said, we'll deal with it. We'll cross that road when we can. But I will say this about Juju. He's got a very high football IQ. He loves the game. It shows. He starts on every special teams for us, and he does a great job. Obviously, the conference recognized him as a second-teamer, special teams player. So, he's got a high football IQ. He's very physical. I don't think he would have any issue doing it. It's just a matter of is that in the best interest for us? So that remains to be seen.
You're talking about off-season assessment. Now that we see all the guys out on Rehab Island, and do you ever find yourself looking at those guys and saying, "Man, that's
a good-looking group."
That's a lot
Muscle
of guys.
Beach is a good-looking group. That's what we refer to it as, Muscle Beach. So, Rehab Island, I guess you could go with that too. But, you look over and you see Jabari, you see Kenny Bigelow, you see Chad Wheeler, you see Trey Madden, you see all these guys over there working. It's going to be exciting to get them back. And also the influx of an entire class. We're moving in the right direction from a roster standpoint.
Where do you feel like you guys are now, kind of having completed this week?
I feel great. We would be ready to play if the game were this week, and I feel great about what we're doing. I think the guys have a really good understanding of what we're trying to get done, and that's the point of putting it all in this week, so that next week, we find the right balance of game planning and practicing, but also enjoying the time together as a team, enjoying the bowl festivities, so that it's not just all about football. We have a chance now to kind of go back and fine-tune it next week, enjoy our time, enjoy Christmas together, and then go play a really good game.
How, if at all, will it change things not having Antoine in there at nose tackle?
First of all, it's just sheer depth. It's just sheer numbers. Antoine, this guy's played a lot of football for us, and so that is one factor. 2, you're just relying on a couple guys to play more snaps than they're probably accustomed to playing. And so with the tempo and different things and the style of play, the real thing to watch is how much we're rotating those guys inside to make sure that we're fresh and playing with good pad level and good football.
Does it help that you've played Nebraska before in the Holiday Bowl, as far as their schemes and stuff?
They've changed like everybody does. Over time you change, and that was quite some time ago. The basis of what they do is still very similar, but the scheme to fit the personnel, it's an entirely different quarterback at the time, a different secondary, a different D-line, all those types of things. The basis of who they are is similar, so I think that part could help. It probably helps them too, knowing that they have faced me. So, but at the end, I think we're so different as a team now here, and we're so different schematically on both sides of the ball now than we were back then. It's hard to take too much from it.
Their running back, Abdullah, what's his? Similar to anyone you've faced, or?
I think he's the best back we faced this year, quite honestly. He's not the biggest guy, but man, he plays hard. He's very versatile. He's He's a in between the tackles runner. He's a fly sweep guy. He's a throw the ball to him out of the backfield guy. He's an excellent kick returner. He's really versatile, and that's what's challenging about him is he's not just in the same spot all the time. You have to find him. So if there's anybody to kind of compare him to, he's probably not the receiver of DJ Foster, but he's got a lot of that same versatility to him.
What kind of changes in your preparation when you're facing a staff that's kind of in flux and changeover?
Nothing changes. Nothing changes for us. It's nothing. It's not really about them, how we prepare. It's how we prepare. It's about us. I do know this, and we've made the point to the team. This is an opportunity for them to come even closer as a team and use it as a rallying cry and with their staff and whatnot, similar to the situation here a year ago. So we know we're going to get their best shot. We know it's going to be an emotional game for them. They'll be fired up, and the key for us is to be really focused, really energized, and then ultimately execute extremely well come a week from today.
You got Isaac Whitney the other day. What do you like about him?
Well, I like Isaac on a couple fronts. One, I think he provides something a little bit different than what we have. He's a bigger receiver, but for a big receiver, he shows a lot of, I say, little guy qualities. He's very quick in and out of his breaks. He's extremely athletic. So I think he's going to be a great fit in our system. He's a mature guy, junior college transfer. Excited about the prospects of him playing in the system.
One more?
Is there one or two things that maybe you haven't done as well as you wanted to this season that you'd like to see the team execute better in this bowl game? What might those be?
Finish the game. Finish the games better, you know? And that's something that's been obviously easy to see, you know, when you watch us play. And so that's a big point. And we know this is going to be a 4-quarter game. We're going to have to finish in the 4th quarter late in this game. And we're going to have to execute and remain aggressive and all of those things. And so that's probably the biggest thing that jumps out to me, quite honestly.